guys, and welcome to Truth and Transparency live court hearing day. Again, welcome. We're going to start this about an hour or so ahead of the hearing. Truth and Transparency will be in the courtroom. We have a reporter in there, so we got you covered. And it is New Orleans lady's birthday, so a special birthday to New Orleans lady. Happy birthday, love. But got a lot to talk about. Instead of going live last night, I figured I'd just save it all today. So welcome. First, those of you guys that don't even know what's going on today, here you go. Take a look.
Today, in a matter of hours, the man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students is expected to be back in court today.
Now, the suspect is asking for a pause on the proceedings against him so that he can challenge the grand jury indictment. He's also asking for the grand jury records.
KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones has been reading through court documents. He joins us now from the KREM 2 newsroom with more on what's expected to happen in court today.
Yeah, Brian Koberger has 4 motion hearings at the Latah County Courthouse scheduled for today. They start at 1:30 p.m. Last month, a grand jury indicted him for the murders of Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Madison Mogan. So let's break down what we can expect to happen in today's hearings. In the first hearing, the defense has 3 motions requesting evidence from the prosecution. That evidence includes body cam video, cell phone analysis, every tip law enforcement received in the case, and DNA analysis reports. In the other 3 hearings, the suspect is asking for all of the documents from the grand jury that indicted him and time to review them. According to court filings, the suspect argues that it is his legal right to challenge his indictment, and the release of the proceedings is necessary to ensure a fair trial. The state argues the suspect is only entitled to an audio recording or transcript from the grand jury. The suspect is also asking for a qualified protective order to maintain the sensitive nature of the records. Under this order, his defense team would have access to materials while strictly adhering to confidentiality rules. The defense is also asking for a pause on the proceedings if the judge allows the release of the grand jury.
All right, so basically, I had a bunch of my stuff already for the preliminary hearing with already done up notepads. So basically, I'm going to break it on down for you guys. The motion to compel, that's what we're going to be hearing about, one of the 4 motions. And we are going to be looking for, you can't hear, Miss Potts? Why can't you hear? Turn it up, man. Come on now. We're asking for the discovery. The defense is asking for the discovery. So you're going to hear about the DNA reports. That's what they want. They don't have the tips from law enforcement, the body cam footage, the cell phone analysis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how we're going to be doing this. When I am getting updated within the room, I'll share this for you guys. We're going to be adding it based on whatever is happening. We're going to add it to the notes so that I can just simply post these up while things are happening in the courtroom. You got your tips. We'll find out about what they say about that, what they don't have. And we're going to find out about all the body cam footage that they don't have, what specifically they don't have, the cell phone analysis. So those are going to be pretty much the 4 main things about as far as compelling. Again, this came in a report or in a motion dated back June 9th. The next thing we're going to be hearing about is that they want to stay the proceedings. Okay. Staying the proceedings until the grand jury gets, until they get the grand jury information. And what that means is they want additional time without it counting against Brian's speedy trial. Okay. And they just don't want the transcripts. There's additional stuff that they want. But third thing is the grand jury info in terms of everything the defense is looking for with at that qualified protective order. Okay. So and then they are asking them for time to review the material. So they need an order for more time to review it. Okay, so this is kind of what we're looking at today. But now, we're going to go like this. We're going to talk about back when we did the think of that super sticker, super chat. Barkus, you are lit. Keep up the good fight. Thank you very much. Don't forget it's a special birthday in the house. Nola lady, look out. She just turned 21, y'all. Who wants to be 21 again? Not here, not here. Let me go ahead and share this with you though really quick again. Okay. You guys remember take a look. Snapchat. Okay. Look at these. The Snapchat warrants, search warrants. 1421 in 6 seconds. 1419 in 17 seconds. Back when they did another one, but there was actually 2 separate search warrants for Snapchat back on the 1121. And I'm going to show you guys here. So this one came like this. Okay, do you see this right here? On 11/21, I obtained a search warrant. On 11/29, I received an email from Snapchat which contained the request information. This was only for the Snap account, Madison Mogan, with this identifier. Okay. In this Snapchat, again, go back, show you guys something. On 11/21, I obtained a search warrant for Snapchat. 11/21, I obtained a search warrant for Snapchat. Okay. I just showed you the one that was for just an account for Maddie. This one, same day. This is for Xana, Kaylee, Ethan, redacted, and redacted. Okay? You notice how Maddie's is missing here? But still, there's still like the 6. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's your 6th. And then they redacted the identifiers, meaning like whatever your Snapchat, handle is. So just want to show you guys this. Okay. So I always wondered why they redacted Maddie's name. Like, I get the redaction of Bethany and Dylan, right? But why redact Maddie's? All right. Well, this is why, guys. You guys ready for it? There was actually a reason. Because you guys, I can't make this shit up, man. I just cannot make this shit up. So TNT believes that Maddie Mogan had 2 different Snapchats, okay? 2. 1 of which TNT believes was in the group messages with Dave. Why? Well, why wouldn't this all just be in one search warrant? Why wouldn't this just be all in one search warrant? You're doing it the same day. Why would there have to be a special search warrant for, if Maddie had 2, why would you need a special search warrant? You're just putting that account, if she had to put it, it's not like you would have learned this anytime differently. Okay. You didn't learn this, days later or years later or anything like that. You're filling out for this search warrant both days at the same time. Like you're filling it's the same time, 11/21 for both of these. Okay. Why does TNT believe this? Why? Because Dave did his own automatic dump on his Snapchat. He requested a manual. You go in with Facebook, you go in with this, you go in with that. And Facebook, you do Instagram, you can do Snapchat. You can go and manually request your data. So this is Miss Nola's birthday bomb. Ready? Miss Nola's birthday bomb. Ready? Dave's Snapchat. There are 12 hours from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. November 13th that have been completely wiped. Like there's no activity. It's saying that there's no activity on his Snapchat. November 13th from 5 a.m., just right after the murders, until 5 p.m. Now, Dave just did this not so long ago to get all of this information to see what was there. And guess whose first message is there? So what that means is he normally has all this stuff going back and forth. But on this random day, at this random time, Dave, there's no activity. Like not even just from the group chats, none period. It's saying that there has been no data recorded during that time. Now, it could be for numerous reasons. One, if you think about it, when you go get a search warrant, you ask for the stuff to be, sealed and things like that. So, is the reason that there's no data showing during that time frame from the 5 to the 5 is because that's what they put the request in, and they were able to seal it all off from like the public then knowing. That's what I believe. But the question is where is that search warrant? Where is this search warrant? How did they find out this information, and how does it hold off on everybody's? Like, if like there's like, let's say that there's 40 to 100 people that are in these different, group messages. I encourage those other people to go do a manual dump and see what comes back during your 12 hours, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. The other thing is the first message that pops back up that is available and that proves that it has been wiped is Caden Young messages. Caden Young says, hey, everyone, stop writing in here about any rumors, or just wait for the official report. But let's wait until we get the official report. And that was 5 or 5:15. And so he is acknowledging by his comment at Fire 515 that people were writing in there. So the question is when did MPD know about all these group Snapchats and, and it was possibly Maddie in that, there is tons of people in this group message, like tons of people are in these messages on Snapchat because that's their way of communicating about parties, about hanging out, about even like police and stuff like that. But Caden Young is the first name that pops up in terms of messaging and availability. Caden Young, just in case you guys don't know, Caden Young was found, unresponsive and dead during spring break due to an overdose. And Emma Bailey and Demetrius were picked up for that. So, again, those of you guys are just joining, welcome. Now, I'm going to share. This is what you guys can expect to see today in the courtroom. Again, from 5 a.m., so the night, the morning of the murders, the murders were said to have happened between 3 and 4. At 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the November 13th date, there is no data available for Dave.
Happening today in a matter of hours, the man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students is expected to be back in court today.
Now, the suspect is asking for a pause on the proceedings against him so that he can challenge the grand jury indictment. He's also asking for the grand jury records.
KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones has been reading through court documents. He joins us now from the KREM 2 newsroom with more on what's expected to happen in court today.
Yeah, Brian Koberger has 4 motion hearings at the Latah County Courthouse scheduled for today. They start at 1:30 p.m. Last month, a grand jury indicted him for the murders of Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Madison Mogan. So let's break down what we can expect to happen in today's hearings. In the first hearing, the defense has 3 motions requesting evidence from the prosecution. That evidence includes body cam video, cell phone analysis, every tip law enforcement received in the case, and DNA analysis reports. In the other 3 hearings, the suspect is asking for all of the documents from the grand jury that indicted him and time to review them. According to court filings, the suspect argues that it is his legal right to challenge his indictment and the release of the proceedings is necessary to ensure a fair trial. The state argues the suspect is only entitled to an audio recording or transcript from the grand jury. The suspect is also asking for a qualified protective order to maintain the sensitive nature of the records. Under this order,
You want me to show you what mainstream media does? You guys want to see what mainstream media does? Look at this. So this is what KREM TV uses. They show Brian. Okay, this is mainstream media for you. They show the suspect not dressed all up in his suit. They use this court proceeding to show the suspect, which is prejudicial in my opinion. They could have used, Dave is, please don't act like you know where Dave is or who Dave is or anything like that. None of y'all know, and it's meant to be that way. So if anybody, moderators in chat, comment on who they think Dave is, block them, or ask who Dave is. Thank you. Again, this is KREM TV today, and they could have used any material. They show Brian Koberger in the jumpsuit and repetitively here walking in, and they chose not to show him in a suit. I think that is, that's my example of this is how prejudicial you're being and biased. Show both. Show both. Again, so let's go back to this, which is now, where is the search warrant for any account other than the victims or the surviving roommates to be able to get to those and know about those group messages? And it's not just about the group messages. There's it's the 12 hours it's missing, you guys. And for example, we know that everybody was talking in those group messages by at least the time of the 911 call. So there's nothing there, even at noon, at 1, at 2, at 3, at 4, at 5. It's, so this is not like, oh, see, it proves that like they're not there. No, this actually proves that they are there and they're sealed. Okay. I do not believe that they are scrubbed at all, guys. They're not scrubbed. I believe that they are under seal. I believe that that Snapchat and those threads and anything to do with any account during that period of time is sealed. But my question is, where's the search warrant? What search warrant did it fall under? Because if you go and you look, which proves how powerful they are, okay? If you go and you look back at what I was just showing you guys here with the different dates, let's see. Here we go. Again, give a great shout out to New Orleans lady. It's her birthday today. There you go. Remember this one? They did it again. So they did Snapchat a third time. Okay. And this time on March 30th. Okay. I obtained a search warrant for Snapchat on March 30th. And just so you guys know, Dave's interview with me didn't happen, okay, until Mother's Day. All right, so just putting that also out there. All right, so here we go. So on March 30th, and what it did is, for this Snapchat purpose of this, it wanted information from June 23rd to August 1st. The other stuff, so it's not like anyone can say, oh, it's that March 30th Snapchat request. That's what it's from. No, because this is June 22nd, or June 23rd rather, until August 22nd. And August 1st to November 19th. Now, so my question is they couldn't have got it from the March 30th one, because it wasn't even during that time frame. Okay, so this has nothing to do with that. I just want to know when they came across. Okay, and if the only thing that they basically, for them to have known that this existed, that these group chats existed, and that people were talking about it in Snapchat and how it got out and things like that, it had to originate from somebody inside that home. And I don't think it originated from somebody that was dead. Okay, so who in that home was part of those group chats? Who in that home was Snapchatting? To the point that Dave's Snapchat is sealed from 5 a.m. until 5 p.m. Again, you just joined us, giving you guys some bombshell news about Snapchat here. And the question is when does the defense have this? Does the defense have it? Well, I made sure that the defense had it. I went ahead and personally emailed the defense. because if they don't have it, then that's a Brady violation. So, and remember all the Brady talks? Who else was in the group? There's like 40 to 100 people in the group. Remember Dave's interview? He said there was like, we had multiple, like, there's not just one group message, guys. Think about having multiple group messages. Okay. Think about having like an admin's chat if you're a YouTube creator and you have multiple because you're a troller. You know, but yeah. So, but it's when did law enforcement know about this? And guys, law enforcement obviously knows about it, but the question is when did they know about it? And guess what? Go look at these Snapchat requests. Check this out. She signed the order on the one on 12/2. See that? 12/2? She signed the order on the other one. On 12/5. So they got both of them back. Oh, you guys can't see that. There you go. 12/5. (12/2). Let's see which one happened first. Madison's other account was turned in first. And then they spent a little bit more time in reviewing the ones with all of them. So, again, welcome to Truth and Transparency. This is where you're going to be able to hear and see all the live updates with today's hearing. But I wanted to kick it off with Snapchat, and because Snapchat is everything about what we've brought to this from this channel, it was about the time frame. Okay, so now the question is, Snapchat holds a bunch of information about a bunch of kids messaging back and forth, just like Dave said early in the morning. Dave's Snapchat, as well as not just his, but anybody that would have been involved in that, their stuff is under a seal from 5 a.m. until 5 p.m. 5 a.m. until 5 p.m. on the day of the murders. He can see all of his Snapchat data before it, after it, and it's constant. It's organic, okay? But then here it is, this 12-hour period, there is nothing there. And I believe it's because it's under a seal. If it's not, that means it's deleted, and then there's going to be some problems about that. Again, this is pulling the information in a manual dump. And this was done though, guys. Now the question is when? You have to get search warrants to just do this, okay? And I don't see any search warrants for Dave's. There's only 3 Snapchat search warrants that are out right now. But I just showed you all 3. And none of them, they didn't get the information. That means that they got to this information a different way. And they got to it through one of the deceased victims or the 2 survivors. That means that one of them were in the group messages, or maybe multiple. Also, who else is, remember how they took people's phones and they were downloading them? Okay. So, because they didn't need a search warrant for stuff. If people were just turning things over, you don't need, if you didn't need a search warrant, you don't need a search warrant. Okay. So where is that information? All I'm able to say is that the police have it. The question is does the defense? And how I know that is because of Dave's death. If you turn something over willingly, you don't need a search warrant for it. So, all right, again, that's that. Kaboom! You are worth your weight in gold, Lana. Thank you. I'll take everybody your gold. Again, we do have a reporter, guys, in the courtroom today. So when I'm getting the updates, you guys are going to be getting the updates. So basically, my question is was that information turned over, and has that information been turned over to the defense? Today, we're hearing 4 things in the courtroom. One of those things is the motion for the hearing of the defendant to make available all records of all proceedings of the grand jury. Motion to compel, we're going to be hearing, they're going to say, hey, we don't have X, Y, and Z. We need these, and we don't have them. And what are those things? DNA, body cam footage, the cell phone. This is just, they did shorten the time to be heard. That was granted. Again, that's for the grand jury. And then they're trying to, they're trying to stay the proceedings. So that's the other thing that's going to be heard. Obviously, we're going to talk more about that later. But this is what you're looking at right here. This is what they're saying. We don't have, remember this, we went all through this. So they want all the cell phone. They want all the footage. They're keeping it quiet here of what they requested on 17 and 23. Can we get some information on that FBI agent yet? Let's see what else. Again, remember their argument is going to be that they disagree why this shouldn't be, like why this wouldn't be protected information. They just want to turn over the transcripts, okay? They just want to turn over the audio. And we, the people, do you believe that you should be entitled to other things based on the fact that how did you impanel this jury after 6 months of being like, run down? So and then they're asking for all the tips, all audio recordings related to all search warrants obtained in this matter. So, the other thing I'm trying to get clarification on is, was Brian Koberger at the November 26, 2022 Apple Cup? It is the Washington State versus Washington football game. Every year they play each other. It's called the Apple Cup. It's kind of like when Ohio State and Michigan play. It usually happens right around Thanksgiving. And it's usually like that Saturday after Thanksgiving. So what I mean by that is I will show you. No fireworks today, guys. Don't worry. Again, I want to give a shout out to New Orleans lady. It's her birthday. Happy 21st birthday. And then, just kidding, guys. She's not 21. But all the other mods, thank you for being here. Thank you for making it such a warm and welcoming place to be. All of the people that became new members, all the people that have been members since day one, A1 OGs, and all of you guys that are subscribers. Make sure you guys click that little bell notification. You'll know when we go live and stuff like that. So you guys are on it. Let's take a look here. Couple things before we get into the motion. We're going to talk about Dylan's vehicle or possible vehicle. Almost there. Here we go. All right. Sometimes chat does get crazy, meaning like it'll like twitch or flitch or whatever. So just sometimes just leave and come back in and stuff like that. So again, all of my people overseas that love these earlier lives because they're not happening in the middle of the night. And those of you guys that are just waking up with us. So let's take a look here though. All right. Now, these have been from past stuff that we were able to grab on social media back in the day. But here's a picture. Now either, so that's a Jeep steering wheel. And I always wondered who that Jeep Renegade belonged to. Only because we know the Jeep Wrangler belonged to Ethan, right? Now is Bethany just driving somebody else's Jeep or not Bethany, Dylan here. This is the side of a, depending on what year you have, but this is what a side of a Renegade is going to look like. Let me show you. The door inside. Okay. So when we looked at this right here, see over there, this is the inside of a Renegade. Over off to the left. Again, it's just going to depend on what year. Now, when you actually have a Wrangler has a very distinct inside door opener handle from the inside. And that's like this, which is not anything like that. Here, I'm going to show you guys this. There you go. That is going to be how a Jeep door opens up, the handle over there. It's a square, totally different from that of a Renegade or a Jeep, Cherokee or Grand Cherokee. So how I know that Dylan is not driving a Jeep Wrangler is because of the handle on the side of the door. The thing that's important about does Dylan have a car, does Bethany have a car, is because that morning there were no vehicles there that could have been Bethany or Dylan's. So that's why it's important is did they own vehicles? Where were they? Because they were not parked in the parking lot. You have the victims, and then right behind one of the victims, you have the sibling of that victim. So, but this is what it would be like if Dylan was taking a picture in Ethan's Jeep. It would be that type of a door. And that's just not what's there. So she's taking a picture from what looks to be a different type of a Jeep, and based on the other body cams that we were able to obtain, there's a Jeep Renegade that's there. But bottom line is that we were able to uncover that Bethany got a speeding ticket in Pullman a month before the murders. What car was she driving? Where were their vehicles? Where were their vehicles that morning? If they were there and were there since 1, where are these people's vehicles? And when you live there, you park, that lot is huge. You're parking. Why would you park in the street? But now, the other thing is again, we're just simply asking, did Dylan and Bethany have vehicles? Because if they did, where were they? Because they were not in the lot. They were not in their parking. They have a parking lot, okay? Now, the other thing is that, let's go back like this, is where was Brian Kohlberger? He didn't go home for the holidays. So he stayed. Did Brian Kohlberger attend the Washington versus Washington State game? All I can tell you is that I'm going to show you some pictures. You can decide what you think. I leave you guys to have and use your brains. So he didn't go home. He doesn't have any family, so he stayed. Meaning, what did he do for Thanksgiving? That would have been on the 24th of November. Then the 26th is that Washington versus Washington State game. Okay, and just curious. All right, here we go. If you scan through the game, you can come across people in the stands. If you scan through the football game, I put a little sneak peek up on my community page of the actual game. It was 27 degrees that night. Again. Yeah, baby. What you want? What?
Today, in a matter of hours, the man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students is expected to be back in court today.
Now, the suspect is asking for a pause on the proceedings against him so that he can challenge the grand jury indictment. He's also asking for the grand jury records.
KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones has been reading through court documents. He joins us now from the KREM 2 newsroom with more on what's expected to happen in court today.
Yeah, Brian Koberger has 4 motion hearings at the Latah County Courthouse scheduled for today. They start at 1:30 p.m. Last month, a grand jury indicted him for the murders of Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Madison Mogan. So let's break down what we can expect to happen in today's hearings. In the first hearing, the defense has 3 motions requesting evidence from the prosecution. That evidence includes body cam video, cell phone analysis, every tip law enforcement received in the case, and DNA analysis reports. In the other 3 hearings, the suspect is asking for all of the documents from the grand jury that indicted him and time to review them. According to court filings, the suspect argues that it is his legal right to challenge his indictment, and the release of the proceedings is necessary to ensure a fair trial. The state argues the suspect is only entitled to an audio recording or transcript from the grand jury. The suspect is also asking for a qualified protective order to maintain the sensitive nature of the records. Under this order, his defense team would have access to materials while strictly adhering to confidentiality rules. The defense is also asking for a pause on the proceedings if the judge allows the release of the grand jury materials. The judge is expected to make a decision on those requests today. KREM 2 will be in the courtroom where we will bring any updates on the KREM 2 news at 4 and KREM.com. In the newsroom, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
I'm Benny Politan. We begin this hour of closing arguments with some big breaking news out of Idaho involving the death penalty and the man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students. Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter is in Idaho tonight with all the details. Go ahead, Chanley.
Great to be with you, Vinny. Literally, my first stop here in Idaho is to be on with you at the Latah County Courthouse, where prosecutors just today filed their notice to seek the death penalty against the accused mass murderer of Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle. This is big news. It was to be expected. It's not surprising given what he is accused of doing, but now it is official. Here's a look at the document that was filed. It says in part that the state gives this notice based on the fact that it has not identified or been provided with any mitigating circumstances sufficient to prohibit the triers of fact from considering all penalties authorized by the Idaho legislature, including the possibility of capital sentence. Consequently, considering all evidence currently known to the state is compelled to file this notice of intent to seek the death penalty. And it goes on to say that at this time, based on the information known to prosecutors, they find several aggravating circumstances surrounding this mass murder, including that it was especially heinous, atrocious, and cruel, that the defendant has exhibited a propensity to commit murder. It lists 5 separate aggravating factors in this document. It also concludes by reserving the right to withdraw its intent to seek the death penalty if it learns more information in the future. But we know that the victims' families in this case, especially the Gonsalves family, supports this death penalty. I spoke, of course, with Steve Gonsalves recently about the possibility of the prosecutor seeking the death penalty, and this is what he told me. The death penalty, you support it, right?
We definitely do. Yep, that's part of the reason we moved to Idaho. You know, we want a community that protects the most vulnerable, and that's something that if a father can't protect them, then you hope that the society is willing to step up and do the right thing. So that's what we're looking for. The ultimate form of justice is that.
And of course, Vinny, all of this news happening today ahead of a pivotal motions hearing happening inside this courthouse tomorrow. And of course, I will be in there.
Yeah, it was, the deadline, we know the clock was ticking. And then just on the eve of this huge hearing tomorrow, getting this word, has there been any reaction from anyone to this announcement yet? Or are we waiting to hear from folks, either victims, the defendant, or anyone else associated with all of this?
We could possibly hear a lot about it in the hearing tomorrow. Possibly the defense may say something, as they did on the record in the last hearing. They addressed why he stood still at his arraignment, because they want to contest the indictment. So they offer tidbits inside there. There is a gag order still over the matter covering the parties, the attorneys representing victims' families. But as you can imagine, victims' families who supported this and wanted this obviously agree and are pleased that the prosecution went ahead and did this. And early in that time frame, they had until August or so in which to file this notice, and went ahead and did so today.
Exactly. Okay. Chanley Painter on the ground.
Exactly. You had till August to file that. Why did they file it today? To take all the boom away from the defense's 1-2 DNA punch. I mean, you just said it right there. Chanley. They had until August to make that decision. But they felt the need to make that decision yesterday and to fill that form out and to put it in. Why? Because of the defense's 1-2 DNA blow. That's why.
Big hearing tomorrow. We've got a lot to cover tonight to get folks ready for that. Thanks so much, Chanley. We'll speak tomorrow night, and everyone will see you all day long here on your front row seat to justice. Okay, so some of the issues that are on the table now in this case, the defense is putting forth that, hey, well, wait a minute, there's other things that need to be considered here. They are not throwing in the towel in this case. I've said this from the beginning. They are contesting this now. Well,
let's address that. You said that they had 30 plus days to clean up. Exactly. So when you came across Brian Koberger, why not interview him? Why not attempt to, if you have all these, the way that you went about this investigation, the way that you came across him, you were asking all these fraternity kids and sorority girls to produce their DNA, produce their phones, and they were just giving them, and they were just downloading them and taking, the DNA and stuff like that. So if you did this all organically as an investigation and you came across Brian Koberger, the argument is, he had all this time to clean up. Well, why didn't you try to get it beforehand? Because you had that ability. So, especially knowing how important it would be.
the first thing you're going to try to do, right, a defense team in a case like this is, all right, we're going to try to keep this guy off of death row, right? And if they keep him off death row, they'll consider that a victory. But then the other part is they are not conceding anything here and will fight every piece of evidence and point the finger wherever they can at other potential suspects. I want you to take a look at this clip.
Also, guys, we've done extensive research on the lab. Okay, this lab has been in trouble before, and we're going to get into that. I try to keep the lives, keep it to what, you know, that topic is. Some lives, yeah, we'll talk about a whole bunch of different things, but the lab where this was all done, there's questions with the work that they do over there. So keep that in mind. But the last point I want to make about the DNA is that it's not just that there was no DNA present of any of the victims. There was no sign of a cleanup. Okay, there's no evidence of, like, you know, everybody's been saying, oh, he bleached the shit out of his car. Okay, that'd be there. All right. So I just think that if this doesn't give you reason to pause, and it clearly didn't give Idaho a reason to pause, they're like, I don't know if it's the panic mode that they're in. Okay, no, let's go death penalty. It's just, we got this. But don't you want the right person? Like, come on. We have a Snapchat that when that does come out, that, you get a 911 call that didn't happen for 8 to 10 hours. You have people talking about it before it ever was given up to law enforcement. And once that comes out, anybody then could have put anything anywhere, because that crime scene is 100% contaminated. And that's just not to say that it could be law enforcement. Other people had access to that home. So this isn't just about if you think that Brian Kohlberger is from the frame that it had to just be police. Okay, this is just, a big old scope. And who would have reasons to hush people, or who would want it to be that, hey, instead of looking at these frat guys over here, look over here, things like that. But I think the word pause just comes to mind, and it's like, okay, hold on. Don't we want the right person? And there's just no, I just don't see pause. I don't see, for as careful as they said that they did everything. And hey, this stuff takes time. We're being, we're crossing every T and dotting every I. Well, that's 100% not what we've seen. And that's what the defense is saying. And that's why there's this motion to compel today, that other, motions have been added. So there's 4 things that are going to be heard today. And transparency is all that the defense is asking for. And we should be encouraging transparency. We should be encouraging the truth and justice through transparency. And that's just not what's happening.
From a great show, The Interview Room with Chris McDonough. It's on YouTube. We've had Chris on the show many, many times. He's going to be with us tonight also, so don't worry, he's going to be with us. But on one of his episodes, it was a fascinating moment, and it was early on in this case in the investigation. Take a look.
I actually found a glove and turned it, I pointed it out to the officer who was there securing the scene, and they came and they collected it. The officer that was there, obviously they didn't know about it because he came over and photographed it. And he talked to the head evidence tech, and immediately, later they'd come out and got it.
Okay, so Chris McDonough spots a glove.
Sorry.
Near and around the scene of the crime where they're securing everything. You saw the crime scene tape, right? Take a look now at what the defense is saying about this. They're saying on December 17th, lab analysis, we're aware of 2 additional males' DNA within the house, okay, where the deceased were located, and another unknown male DNA on a glove found outside the residence on November 20th. Further, these 3 separate and distinct male DNA profiles were not identified through CODIS, leading to the conclusion that the...
Okay, so guys, what do you make of this? There's 3 unknown male DNAs, 2 of which were inside where the deceased were located. Okay. I had a chuckle there, though. How did the police not see that? They didn't find this glove until the 20th. This happened on the 13th. How did the police not, what? Where was this glove found? 7 days. 7 days. I mean, I know a lot of people, when they walk their dog, they wear gloves because they pick up dog shit. So I'm wondering if there's any shit on that glove as well. Just a thought.
The profiles do not belong to the accused killer. So we've got unknown DNA that the defense is saying, hey, wait a minute, whose DNA is this on this glove, and whose DNA is within the house, right? So what does all this mean? Let's start with the glove, and let's bring in our special guest, former homicide detective, the man who found the glove, host of The Interview Room. Chris McDonough is with us. Chris, great to see you tonight. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Vinny.
First of all, your reaction. Now the defense is taking a look at this glove and saying, hey, wait a minute. Give us a little more details surrounding exactly where you found it and your thoughts as a homicide investigator about that glove.
Here's the deeds.
Sure, absolutely. So it was Thanksgiving Day, and I was in Idaho on another case because I work, with the Cold Case Foundation. And I took the day off, my wife and I.
Wait a second. I have to stop right there. Thanksgiving Day is the 24th this past year. So the defense is talking about something on November 20th. So right there, like, why are you even interviewing him? This isn't the glove. Right? I mean, the defense says November 20th because it was in a report. The defense is only quoting things from the reports. Okay, so let's continue on.
I drove up to just take a look at, the house, 1122 King Street. And as I was walking up the street, as we neared the residence, you could see that the scene was clearly, taped off, and there were 2 trash cans near the curb line. And there were, it was on the public side. It was on the public street. Okay. There were a bunch of people around as well. And I happened to, notice a dark colored, what appeared to be a glove with some snow cover on it, sitting behind the trash cans. And so there was a security officer, if you see that police car that's being shown there, and I waved to him, and, the old homicide guy in me said, hey, there's a glove here. And he got out of the car and he walked towards me and he said, what are you saying? And I pointed to the glove and I said, look, there's a glove down there. You guys may want to collect that. And he, was basically surprised that it was sitting there. And he looked at it and said, okay, yeah, I'm going to go tell the evidence guys and we'll get it. So my wife and I started to continue to move up the hill, and I turned around and he was taking photographs of it. And then eventually, I'm assuming that the evidence folks, came and got it, which it sounds like they did.
They did.
So I didn't see them actually.
They didn't. This is not the glove.
First question, everyone at home right now is like, well, Chris, did you touch it? Could it be your DNA?
No, that's not what we're saying at home right now. What we're saying at home right now is that Thanksgiving was on the 24th. This glove was found on the 20th. OMG. Like, how do you not, is it that difficult? Do you guys want to, look at your calendars. He said he was there November 24th, Thanksgiving. This glove was found November 20th. But bless their hearts, okay? It just, wow. I cannot believe that this is what they're doing with mainstream media time. This is clearly not the glove they're referring to. Do we think the defense made a mistake by saying November 20th instead of November 24th on Thanksgiving? No. But what's really interesting is that if you go look at Discovery and you go look at the media updates, all of a sudden they go from having 100 pieces of evidence on the 23rd, and on the 25th they have 10 more pieces that they added to go get tested in the lab.
Glove.
Yeah, no. It's not my DNA, and they're welcome to, take a buccal swab to eliminate me as possible. But, the old homicide guy in me, as you know, Vinny, more than anybody, the last thing you want as a prosecutor and or a defense attorney is a surprise, right? And the fact that it was sitting there, to me, that was a surprise because it was Thanksgiving Day, and, this glove's sitting there. Now, if it belongs to an investigator, if it belongs to the public, or if it belongs to the suspect,
there it is. He said it again. Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving Day. He is not eating turkey. He is out there. Okay. So yeah, this is not what they're talking about. This is not the glove. Okay. November 20th is the date of the glove. But how don't you catch that? Like, what are you doing here as this reporter? You don't know? You don't even think to check? Bless people's hearts, man. But this is what they can do. And you know what the sad thing is? Why wouldn't viewers like watch this and they like, I mean, I guess you'd have to go one extra step. If you actually hosted Thanksgiving, you'd know like, oh my God, no, I had to go get that damn turkey and I had to cook. And I remember it was late, and you'd maybe be able to correlate this, but you're just listening and, oh, wow, yeah, that must be the glove. Well, no, it's not the glove. Okay. Just.
Mom.
Yeah, Jaxie, what's up, baby boy?
I have no idea. But
yeah,
I certainly saw it, and I certainly pointed it out, and they recovered it.
Well, it's now, I look at things as a prosecutor, right? At trial, the defense could try to make this out to be like the smoking gun in the case for them, that, hey, whose glove is it? We don't know. But I guess something that they could do is get the DNA of every investigator who was there. And then there were tons of media there as well, right? Where you found is kind of on the line of where the tape is, right? Because we keep looking at this video, but so a member of the public or any of the many members of the media that may have been there could have dropped that glove. So if anyone from the media dropped that glove, they need to call investigators and give them your DNA so it doesn't become reasonable doubt in the case if in fact that's how it got there.
Yes,
yeah,
totally.
Absolutely.
Go
and in
give
fact,
your
if
DNA
you look
up.
at the early photographs of some of the media reports of that trash can area, you can see the glove, and it's before the snow had covered it. It's sitting there.
Wow.
So it was there long before I got there.
Wow. And what does your gut tell you about the DNA on the glove outside and the DNA that they're talking about from two unknown males inside the home?
Well, I think the DNA aspect of this is going to say that there were a lot of people in that home. And whether or not they're going to be identified is going to be, quite a hurdle. But
You think there's a lot of people in that home? Well, what gave it away? The 150-person party they had the night before? Oh, God bless it. But all the defense is citing here is the three unknown, and I'm sorry, this is not one of them, okay? Okay? And Kumu, Como, Cuckoo Bear wants you to come forward and give up your DNA so that there is not reasonable doubt, damn it. Because we need to nail this momo. So please, put your glove, turn yourself in. Turn yourself in. Do not let there be reasonable doubt here. I kind of like this idea. Go get all law enforcement's DNA. Now that would be interesting. This is just wild. Yeah, this is so concerning, I think. This is so biased, hard to watch. Yeah, that's how I feel about their episodes every day. When I just get a glimpse of something. This is just wow. Like, Chris McDonough doesn't even think to say, well, I was there. You know what I gotta say? I was there on the 24th though. So like the defense is talking about on the 20th. So I wonder if like there's, another glove. Okay. Like what a great defense attorney he is. Like that doesn't even come to your mind? Or did you just want to be on TV so bad? Because it's funny how many TV things I've turned down because I refuse to be portrayed in any type of way that's not authentically me. But I think somebody just wanted to be on TV here because your wife and when you traveled, okay, and what date it was, and it wasn't the 20th. So this is just ridiculous. It's pathetic. There's a guy's life on the line. There's also if he didn't do it, who did it? You know what I mean? You want people to get away with something that did that type of a crime scene? That's what's troubling to me. A bunch of people have kids out there. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Defense has a major problem, and that is the DNA on that snap, on that sheath, up in that upper bedroom next to that
You being
victim.
on the show is a
That's
major
the
problem.
real elephant in the room. The other stuff, yes, exactly. There you go.
Yeah,
That's the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the elephant.
I don't know how they get around that. They're going to make their arguments.
How do you don't know how you get around that? They're telling you. They're telling you how they're going to get around it. Lana, read chat, moving crew at the house right now. Listen, they're telling you how they're going to get around it. Have you not been reading any of the documents that have been coming out? This is just wow. The defense is going to have a really big problem with that sheet. I think they're kind of showing you. If you were ever a defense attorney here, I just cannot believe that he's not like speaking on the fact of what it's like not to get discovery. You know how frustrating that can be to defend your client with no discovery, especially the parts that matter for the case. Lana, they are cleaning the house, are they? During the hearing. They are cleaning the house right now. Court Tick has it live. Great, here we go. Let's go take a look. This is ridiculous. Your channel. Hold on, I'm going to pull it up. Let's take a look. This is wild. Chat is going crazy again. If it goes crazy again, go out and come back in. It's really easy. Just go out and come back in.
And we want a vigorous defense. It's the way our system works, but it's fascinating to see how everything is developing in this case. Chris, it's The Interview Room with Chris McDonough. Great podcast on YouTube. Take a look at it, folks. He has updates on this case and
right there. That's why you did it. That's why you went on. That's the plug right there. So he knows that the defense is talking about a glove on the 20th. He wasn't there till the 24th. So, but there you go. Let me see really quick.
all these fascinating cases from around the country. Chris, appreciate it. Great to see you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Vinny.
All right, let's bring our think tank. Joining us tonight in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor Al Wunsch III. Joining us from St. Bart's, unbelievable. St. Bart's. Criminal defense attorney Darnell Crossland. Everyone at home jealous right now. And in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, family law attorney Jennifer Brandt. She's not jealous because she was on the beach with Oprah just a couple weeks ago. So, all right. So let's start with the death penalty. Anyone surprised or anyone think that at any point it could be retracted?
I think it could be retracted.
Okay, under what circumstances, Al, do you see prosecutors who've retained the right to retract it to suddenly no longer seek the death penalty in this case?
They reach a plea arrangement with him, and they spare the people with the trial and the expense and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It'd be foolish for them not to pull that off the table then.
As a deal, but not if he's like what he's doing, what I believe he's going to do, is to say I didn't do it.
Well, if he's going to trial, that's going to stay on the table. There's no way around that, and they'd be foolish to take it off at that point. But I do think that is a very, very good bargaining chip if you're looking from the defense side. And like you said, I mean, if you get the death penalty pulled back, that's a victory. So, I mean, if down the line, it could possibly be something that would weigh in the favor of, getting into a plea arrangement.
Yes, we are already in the courtroom, so we will not be going over to the house. So we're already here at the courthouse, so we're good. But I will show you what Fox News put out. So. Here you go. Crews enter University of Idaho student's home slated for demolition after quadruple stabbing murder. And make sure you guys can see this on your end. There you go. Work crews were photographed entering and exiting Tuesday, where 4 university students were killed. It was slated for demolition after the victim's landlord donated the property. Work crews were parked outside. Trucks pictured outside the home Tuesday were labeled disaster response on the side and appear to be from the same company that had previously planned to clear out the interior before a court ordered prosecutors to keep the crime scene intact, pending a visit from defense investigators. Oh, there you go. Work out of there. Well, maybe they, they're probably gonna have to be cleaning it up because they're gonna send that jury on through. I mean, that's what I would think. I don't know. But all right, guys. Well, the hearing is starting here in 7 minutes. So what I'm going to be doing is I'll be treating this live thread. Obviously, it's not live, but since we have somebody in there, we're able to give updates through texting and stuff like that. So hopefully what I'll be doing is just leaving this up and letting it run. You guys will have the chat to be chatting. And as we're getting the information, we're going to be putting it up and pinning it. And I'll be using the good old Hector the projector when different things are coming out to add it to what has been said. That way it does not get lost in all the shuffle of people commenting. So that's how it'll be. Again, but again, I want to thank you guys for being here. Truth and transparency. Hector's got a lot of things to work on. We're gonna put an ear to the streets here. So let's see what we got. Again, guys, the hearing starts here, and as soon as when we're getting updates, we will be passing them along here. This is a place to chat, to catch the updates, as well as how the projector will be coming on the screen here. There will be sound. Again, timestamp 1:29 p.m. Brian Kober has not sat down yet. 1:29 p.m. Brian Kober has not sat down yet. This is what you call old school. I'm basically in the room without being in the room with an earpiece in the room. No, I'm just kidding. So I'll be trying to do both as much as I can, but this will keep you guys updated as it's going. Again, integrity, hustle, heart right here. Again, give some love to Noah Lady. It's her birthday. I told her I would do something special for her. So this is as special as I can get. Again, welcome to the transparency. If you just joined us, the hearing is about to begin. The Argonaut is present. The Argonaut is present. An Argonaut reporter is present. Brian just walked in. He is in a suit. Brian just walked in, and he has a suit on. Again, welcome to Truth and Transparency. Thank you guys for being here. We're giving you the play-by-play. Those of you guys that cannot wait for stuff to happen a little bit later, here is the play-by-play. Well, I beat Banfield. She says line forming outside Latah County Courthouse. So she just tweeted that, I think. We're already inside the courtroom. So Banfield, 0. Atlanta 1. This is my quick handwriting. Yes. Jots. You guys know I give Banfield a hard time just because she works hard. The judge goes over gag order to include police. Any witnesses? Again, the hearing is in session. As I'm getting updated, I'm making it known here. So occasionally you guys will hear my voice, occasionally you won't, but the live chat is on there for you guys to not feel alone. Okay, we want no. I don't even know that answer. I don't even know what I just tried to write here. So I just rewrote it. I don't even know what that says, Anna. Don't mind my chicken scratch. That means any witnesses that they already know they're going to be witnesses, they're subject to the gag order as well. So right now, if you are listed as a witness on either side, retained witness, you are part of the gag order. Who's making meatballs? Send me over some meatballs. Get me some meatballs. Again, this is about the gag order. So, police, all agents of the prosecution and the defense, they went over the gag orders to let everybody know, like, hey, this is who has to abide by the gag rule, the gag order, aka the non-dissemination order. I love when people pay attention. Boom. The number 2 request. Enforce, oh God, it's December. The last request, compel order to receive this discovery. Things we have. The prosecution, discuss with prosecution, exhibit how they are coming in, not fast enough. Number 2 request, number 4 request, number 109 request, number 130 request. Holy shit. I can't write this fast. Oh my gosh. Information that was used to obtain search warrants. We do not have that yet. We need a court order in a more timely manner so that we can get this stuff. We don't even have the stuff that they used in order to obtain search warrants. Training records of police officers. State will not submit that information. Interviews. Oh boy. Oh God, here's, oh my God. Okay, here we go. ISP officers, court order for the ISP officers, their training, the tasking that was used from the FBI, the forensics that was used from the FBI, everything that was put into the PCA. We don't know when the prosecution will get it to us. 6 months later, we have no records. Oh my goodness. Asking how FBI obtained information to arrest Brian Koberger. She is pushing for police training records, especially of the Idaho State Police, especially with the death penalty now. State is claiming they've been giving her all the info they have, and they just found more information. Prosecution is saying Miss Taylor has what they have. Miss Taylor is asking for a date, but she says they can't nail a date down. July 14th is maybe the date when prosecution has to give defense this info. Anne is now saying she's only asking for 3 officers' information, their records that had critical positions. Holy shit. She's going nuts. Anne's going nuts. and drinking water. Witnesses. Officer interviewed some witnesses, collected evidence. This officer also mentioned training of critical information. This officer may well have been subpoenaed by the defense. Oh, God. This officer did many interviews. Holy shit. He was there for the autopsies of victims, made critical decisions. Oh my God. I think they did spell his name wrong. Oh my God, this is Gunderson. This is Gunderson. Oh my God. Oh my God. Taylor said she's aware of more than 120 officers involved in this case. 120 officers involved in this case. Oh my God. She's not asking for all of them. She just 3 officers. One did a Spillman search. Oh my gosh. He collected evidence. Prosecution is resisting. Prosecution is saying Miss Taylor is using mere speculation. Judge is taking this all under advisement. – 120 officers. And the judge just dismissed. Damn. Holy shit. Hold on, guys. I have all these notes. Oh my goodness. Basically, the PCA's shot. They're at a break. They're at a break. They're at a break. $30-minute break. It's over? Hold on. It's over. He dismissed. It's over. Holy crap. Okay. I have 12-page of notes here. So, ooh, okay. Let's get this together so I can recap this for you guys. Okay. My correspondent, my reporter that's in the room right now is talking to Andrea right now. I'm actually trying to get her on the show. Like I think I mentioned it earlier. So I respect her work. She's a defense attorney. She came out on YouTube. Okay, so here we go. All right, so Brian was wearing a suit. Let's see here. Meeting dismissed for the day. Do you mean the whole case is dismissed? No, honey, it's just dismissed for the day. It gets over. So oh yes, we got it. Woohoo! Andrea Burkhart will be with us to have her on. She's there now, and she's agreed to talk. So that's really great for our TNT and for the truth. Okay, so real quick, this recap. Okay. They went over all the lists, the numbers that they were looking for. They were looking for a bunch of, they were labeled everything as request one, 1 through whatever. So how we went ahead and took notes is we listed it like that, so that we could have specifics. Okay, I wanted specifics about these numbers so I could narrow them down. So we got the specifics on the numbers that they were requesting, more so than we have. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right. So we got the recap. What do we got? What are we leaning towards?
Well, and Taylor is asking and is reiterating what she's asked the prosecution for, and they are not giving her what she's asked for. She's only asking for the training records of 3 particular Idaho State Police ISP.
Okay.
Because they were so key in collecting evidence.
Okay.
For interviewing witnesses, for being at the autopsies. I mean, it's pretty critical. And so in order to defend her clients, she needs to understand how they were trained,
okay,
what processes they learned, in their training. And they're stalling. And they want to wait till July, what did I say, 14th?
Yes.
I mean, that's 3 weeks from now.
Okay.
And she says, I'm not asking for the whole Idaho State Police, just 3. I mean, obviously they have that. So the judges, he listened to both sides, and Taylor was very articulate. She was very specific. You've got all the things in the notes.
Yeah. Yeah, she was very specific. Okay, good.
Yeah, and she was very calm. She was great.
Okay. And did he say, so he didn't he just said this is dismissed for now. We're gonna.
Yes.
I'll issue my decision probably in the next couple days.
He didn't say when. He just said, I will look over everything and come to something, because she is appealing to the court and Taylor
Yeah.
to compel the prosecution to hand over this information.
Did she say any of the guys' names, or did she not give names out?
No. Oh, no. I would have written them down. She
That's
didn't
what I thought.
give any names this time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
but
ready. Yeah.
yeah, so she's looking for the 3. Now they
Yeah,
want.
and I think she even said they had a part in writing the PCA. Didn't she say that? But that was, no, that's MPD.
Yeah, no,
That's
they
not
did.
IS.
They did because they used
Oh.
they used multiple people. It was multiple people helped in that. I think that's what she's
Yeah,
saying
okay.
when she's saying that.
Yes, and she's also questioning something about the FBI. I wrote that down. I think I gave that to you in my text notes.
Yes, I saw that. What all right, cool. Now can you read your handwriting a little bit better if you were to read through your notebook?
Yeah, hang on a minute. I'm outside. Sorry, you have no idea. I have bad writing when I'm not in a hurry.
Right. Well, I feel I was just
okay,
like
okay. Like which part? Which page?
just start from the beginning. Just give you a rundown.
Okay. They want to revise the dissemination order. There's confusion.
Okay.
This is what the judge said, okay, at the beginning. He basically said at the beginning that he put out an order and he used the word agents, and he said apparently that was confusing to people. And so he's revising his order. I guess he's talking about the gag order, right?
Yeah. The non-dissemination.
Right, and all the attorneys, all the prosecuting attorneys, and all the agents, whether that's investigators, personal attorneys, someone who acts on behalf of another person. Okay, investigators retain witnesses too.
Yeah.
That are going to be in the courtroom. And he said cameras in the courtroom now.
Okay.
But he's deferring his decision as to whether that will be during the trial. But he said the camera operators need to follow the rules.
Okay.
No cameras on the attorney's tables, and definitely not on the defendant.
Okay.
So he said there are some discovery issues. Some are resolved. And Taylor.
Okay. Some are resolved. Some aren't. Okay.
Yes. Okay. She filed a motion to compel. First, second, and third. I wrote down this fast. She compelled order number 6. The discovery was filed on May 4th.
Okay, so she wanted number 6. Did they turn over number 6?
I don't think they have. That's what she's asking.
Okay, perfect.
It's request number 160.
Okay, 160.
Yep. And then there was a second motion. I don't know why I wrote lead. Number 1, 4, and 5 on orders. Okay, I'm sorry, this is confusing to me. And there's number 2. It's request 4 and 5, number 109.
Okay.
So agreed. Okay. And so she said the discovery process began at the end of December. Her last request was to compel orders to receive this discovery. She said the things that we have a disagreement with the prosecution are exhibit how they are coming in. Sorry, she says this is not a fishing expedition, but a real, I forget what she said, request.
Okay.
She said they've come to an impasse. She said.
Yeah, they can, yeah, because they couldn't agree. So they need, she's basically telling him, we need you to decide. We're in an impasse here. Yeah, so now we need you to come in and play, referee here. That's what.
Exactly, because it's what she wants and what the defense says that they have done or what they can't do or what they won't do. Of course, they will never say that. Okay, so then there was number 1309, number 16. If this means something to you, great. She said this could be a prevention of this could prevent an unfair trial.
And what number was she referring to?
The impasse that she's coming to if she doesn't get this information.
Okay.
She says Idaho has a law to prevent an unfair trial, and it's his Sixth Amendment rights. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And she's asking for a proper defense.
Yeah.
And so the first thing she asked was number 6, number 160, item 160, training records of police officers. 3, state ISP. And she said the state will not give information. They're not willing to give her information into their training. They interviewed, they've made decisions. She needs to understand their process. She says it's imperative for the defense to have this.
Yeah.
So she's asking court to order the state to provide the training information. Okay?
Yep.
And so number 2 is information from the task team of the FBI and their forensic process.
Okay.
And she said there were items in the PCA. And then she claims that she does not know when the prosecution will get the information to us.
Mm-hmm.
She says it's been 6 months later, no records given to us. And so she's asking for a deadline from the court.
Yeah, she is.
Give the prosecution a deadline. And he did not have any cuffs. I couldn't see. I was way in the back.
Okay, did you see any of the family? Was the family there?
No.
You didn't see any family members?
I didn't see any family members that I recognized from, any interviews that I've seen.
Okay.
It's not the same as when I was here last time.
Was it way more crowded?
It was very crowded. It was more than last time.
Yeah. Did they say did they talk at all about like the stay that they are asking for more time? Like they don't want this to affect Brian's, speedy trial. They talk about that at all?
No.
Okay.
They didn't say anything about that. It was basically what Anna's asking and what the state is not giving her.
And then at any point in time did they say, hey, we are giving her stuff, she just can't find it?
No, wait, what did they say? I have this written down.
Okay.
What did they say? Sorry. Yeah, I guess the judge is taking this under advisement.
Okay.
They basically, we don't have this information. And that's when she says, I'm not asking for all your officers. I'm just asking for, they have critical information.
And you said that one of them was present at the autopsy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
So they have critical information.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to give you a call back here in just a little bit. I'm going to end this now, and then I'll talk to you here in a minute. Okay, love. All right. There you guys gave it. I gave it to you guys. Keeping it as transparent as possible. Yep. Thanks for catching that 106 to 160. I got that. But you guys are great. I'm going to go ahead and go over all this stuff. And if you want to join me back tonight at 10 or 10:30, something like that. But you guys go rock the rest of your day. Again, gave it to you as best we could until and if and when we get to see any, video of everything that took place in there. I do believe that we will be able to see everything that took place in there. So, like I said, but you guys got the information as quickly as I did. So hopefully that helps all your eager ears until the point we can, see it for what it was. And a special shout out again to all the mods for modding. New Orleans lady, it's her birthday. And a special shout out to this woman. She did fabulous. So again, nothing but love and thanks from Truth and Transparency. We'll see you guys a little bit later. And be kind to one another. Till next time.